Mary Queen of Scots, descendant of Mary Tudor and cousin to Elizabeth I, became queen just 6 days after she was born, when her father, King James V of Scotland, died in 1542. Queen Baby Mary was too young to rule, so her family shipped her off to France to grow up and be educated in the luxurious French courts while regents ruled in Scotland on her behalf. But from an early age, Mary's marital prospects were on everyone's mind. First, Mary married Francis, the son of King Henry II, in 1558. He ascended the throne 1 year later and died 1 year after that, leaving Mary widowed at just 18. This was a huge bummer. Mary loved France, but it was decided that it would be best for her to return to Scotland, which she did in 1561. Mary needed to remarry, which shouldn't have been that hard. She was known across Europe for her unparalleled beauty and physical stature, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. But Mary married her cousin Henry Stuart, who was, as Mary put it, the best proportioned long man she'd ever seen. Then she found out this man that she had married for his good looks turned out to be vain, arrogant, and a very angry drunk. When she became pregnant, he accused her of having an affair with her secretary David Rizzio, and in 1566, along with a group of Protestant nobles, Stuart murdered him, stabbing him 56 times in front of Mary, who was 6 months pregnant. But less than a year later, Stuart turned up dead, blown up in a mysterious explosion. Naturally, suspicion was cast upon Mary and also on her close ally James Hepburn of Bothwell. He was tried for Stuart's murder and acquitted. Then the rumors started to fly that he would marry the queen. And how did he get the queen's hand in marriage? He kidnapped her. Supposedly, she was en route to Edinburgh when Bothwell showed up with 800 of his closest soldiers and was like, "Hey, why don't you come back to my castle in Dunbar?" And she's like, "Well, doesn't look like I have a choice, does it?" Back then, a common way to ensure a woman would marry you was to rape her and then be like, "Well, now you're dishonored, so you kind of have to marry me to preserve your dignity." We're not sure if this is the case with Mary, but it is one of the theories behind why they got married on May 15th, 1567. Of course, their marriage was controversial for a number of reasons, political included, and Scotland became divided. Scottish nobles rose up against her in Bothwell and imprisoned her in Lochleven Castle. She was forced to abdicate her throne to her infant son. She escaped the castle in 1568, attempted an uprising, failed, fled to England, and sought help from her cousin Elizabeth I. But Elizabeth, fearful of the Catholics who felt Mary had a rightful claim to the English throne, and considering Mary's less than stellar reputation, decided to instead imprison Mary in a tower for 18 years. In 1586, Mary was accused of plotting to assassinate Elizabeth. She was put on trial and found guilty of treason, for which the punishment was being locked in a tower. No, just kidding. It was death. Mary was beheaded in Fotheringhay Castle on February 8th, 1587.